Welcome to the weekly close live here on the Passive Income Podcast. Joseph, how are you doing this week,
Hey
my
Dave, like
friend?
you said, after 2 weeks of being gone, I'm finally home back in North Carolina, and boy, does it feel good.
Nice, nice. So, I guess first, as always, we will quickly go over the closing numbers for the week. And as I'm pulling up that screen to share, this is your chance to plug anything you would like to plug.
I actually really don't have much to plug right now. Usually I try to plug Marketplace here, but I guess everybody watch out for Marketplace Socials. We have a very big announcement coming. It's probably a couple months down the pipeline, but it's going to be pretty big, and I'm very excited for it. But other than that, yeah, subscribe here to the Passive Income Podcast on YouTube or wherever you are. Once we get that, what'd you say, 100,000 or 1,000 viewers, Dave's going to start paying me,
Yeah, I will
and you
pay
know
you
I'm always
10
excited for
Canadian
that.
dollars once we get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I have a joke coming for that on Thursday, but we're going to save it till then.
Okay, like I said, we're going to quickly get into the closing numbers for the week, and then we will get into all the different earnings calls. So many great companies reporting this week, and some not so great companies, as Joseph will point out there on Wednesday or Thursday when we get to that portion of the podcast. Um, so right away, again, as always, I start with the Toronto Stock Exchange closing this week at 22,308. And that is floating around their all-time high. I do not know. I'm guessing, well, they were down today by 66, so they may have hit an all-time high today. Anyone in the chat want to let me know if that hit the all-time high? Again, that is in CAD, Canadian dollars. Again, I'm on yahoofinance.ca, so we have to kind of watch what we're looking at. Skipping quickly over to the S&P 500 again, right around that all-time high. Now we're over into USD 5,222. I'm not sure where their all-time high is. Oh, right there, 5,264. So
We're
again, good week really. The Dow, we're going to jump over there, 39,512. Their 52-week range was just shy of the 40,000 mark. The Canadian to US dollar. Oh man, I would really love to see the Canadian dollar go up just so I could come down and visit you guys and it wouldn't cost me so damn much, right?
Oh, we got to pull up the yen today too, because that's had some movement.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm not
Like,
even sure. I might have to spend a minute to figure that out. Crude oil on the New York Mercantile in USD closing the week at $78.19 a barrel. Bitcoin never closes, but I like to pull this up every week for fun. In CAD, 82,734 at current pricing.
which is actually down, like what is like 4 or 5% today? Yeah, 4%
Yeah,
today.
Bitcoin's had quite the wild ride this last week or two. Gold closing the week, we're back to USD 2,366 in USD. So looks like it's been a pretty good week for gold. Let's just
Gold's been blowing up.
yeah, look at that 5-day chart on gold. Wow.
Wow, that is ridiculous. Shout out,
Yeah.
I think it's Jack Allwell. Allwheel. I cannot. Jack, I'm so sorry. We've met so many times and I don't remember how to pronounce your last name. He's been pushing gold a lot. So, happy for your profits, brother.
Yeah, gold is a hard one to disagree with, right? Like gold is gold. Jumping over to the Nasdaq, 16,340. Again, oh, I'm still on the 5-day there, so it looks like it's had a pretty good week. And we'll just jump over to the FTSE for our viewer over there in the UK. We are now in Great British Pounds or quid, closing the week at 8,433. The Nikkei for our one Japanese viewer, Akito. We love you so much, Akito. Thanks for joining the Passive Income Podcast and the weekly close live every week.
I
Saturday
want
morning for you there over in Japan.
I want so bad to believe he's real, but I don't believe it. I want so bad to believe.
He's real in he's real in your mind. Like that tweet you sent out this week. And is this Dividend Dave in the room with us right now? That's a keto.
I forgot
uh,
about that.
the Japanese yen currency, Japanese yen, the Nikkei closing at 38,229. And for fun, we'll look at Canada CAD to the euro, 68 cents. So I can't travel to Europe. I can't travel to the US. I can't do anything, to be quite honest.
I'm telling
So
you, look up JPY. Now'd be a great time to go to Japan. It's the yen's down like 10% year to date. It is their currency is. I don't want to call it a free fall, but it's not doing great.
okay, I will try to figure that out. Try to figure out how to looking up the Japanese yen while we get into the earnings for the week.
We can do that.
And Monday, lots going on Monday, I guess. Palantir is probably one of the biggest names after close. I know there's a lot of people on Twitter, on X, that have a love-hate relationship with Palantir. There's more there from before open and after close. Tyson Foods is another kind of popular one in the DivX or Twitter community. Foot Locker. Where do you want to start here?
So I kind of just picked up a few of my quick hits today. Starting off with Spirit, first thing Monday morning before market open. Spirit, shocker to nobody, actually lost $150 million in Q1 2024, which comes out to about a negative $1.46 share EPS, which is basically a dead hit. I think the average Wall Street analyst was like negative $1.45. We'll give him the rounding error. Stock's up 15% this week, which I also wrote that at like noon today. So if they had some massive movement after lunch, then I apologize. Okay. Wow. I barely met. No, they're only up about 11% this week. Still, pretty good week. Spirit, though, was kind of a good watch because you remember not that long ago, they were talking about, I mean, a merger. Really, they were being bought out by JetBlue before U.S. regulators stepped in and said, absolutely not. Um, so this was Spirit's first earnings call since that merger was shot down. And actually, Spirit's management handled it very well. I mean, they obviously expressed some distaste that the merger didn't go through, but they gave a pretty good layout to move forward, grow the brand, and eventually hit profitability.
Before we get into the next company, I'm just going to quickly pull up. Thanks, Sam, for commenting. Sam Schneider, Bitcoin will be a pretty good buy if it dips 10% or more. So, I mean,
With the way it's going, we'll talk to you Monday, Sam. Like, no,
yeah,
and that's not me trying to love hate Bitcoin crypto at all. That's more so just, I mean, it's down 14.5% in the last month, 5.5 over the last 5 days. It's in a bit of a free fall right now.
right. Okay, Monday, moving along. Anything more there before open? Tyson Foods, Foot Locker, anything?
Unfortunately, no. I got a couple after close, but that's all I had before open.
I do want to just quickly give a shout out to Laura. I don't know if you follow her or not. I believe her Twitter handle is something like at soccer, like SOCR diva, like soccer diva. She's Canadian, but she's a manager at a Foot Locker in somewhere in one of the malls in the Greater Toronto area. So shout out to Laura.
I don't think I've met her, but shout out Laura.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, she's good. A very interesting person. I've had her on the podcast in the past. I couldn't tell you what episode number it was off the top of my head, but okay, jump into the after close on Monday. Palantir obviously is right there, top of the list. So
Yeah,
popular in the div twit, or in the whole
no,
fin twit community.
I would say I don't think Palantir pays a dividend. If they do, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. They don't. I guess I was talking out of turn there, but they are very popular in the fin twit community.
I would say, yeah, stock, they actually hit EPS expectations. Palantir is profitable. at 8 cents a share, which is better than some of the other companies we'll talk about a little later on. Stock's still down 10% this week. Big thing that I read a lot, and if you're a Palantir investor, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but unfortunately, I am not, and I haven't really followed. According to a couple articles I read, a lot of the concern was a lot of their Q1 revenue, a lot of what made them profitable, wasn't from business operations; it was from investment in SPACs, which special purpose acquisition companies. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody in the comments, please. And basically, investors are concerned that outside non-operating revenue isn't sustainable, and Palantir may not be profitable without it.
I'm just gonna
But
jump back. Sorry, I'm gonna jump back to the chat here. Sam's got another great comment. Free falling almost as much as my Starbucks.
oh no, Starbucks investors hurting bad right now. What are they actually? Let's see. I haven't checked them this week. Okay, they're up a little bit this week, but man, I watched that drop last week. What was it? Tuesday after market, they reported earnings.
Yeah,
If you're
I think it was.
if you're Starbucks stockholder right now, all I can think of do is you call Howard Schultz and you offer him anything and everything to come back. Just one more time. Also, I have it on me somewhere. I don't remember where. Howard Schultz wrote a book about managing Starbucks and like what he did and all that. Highly recommend everybody home give it a read. It is a phenomenal book. I've read it like 3 times now.
Oh
It is
wow.
it is my go-to airplane book. It is phenomenal. Back
Anything
into
more? Okay. Oh, we've got Realty Income there on Monday
yep.
as well. That's another big, Twitter favorite.
I mean, of course it is. They are the monthly dividend company. They advertise themselves as such. Realty Income, ticker O, pretty flat on the week. I think like 0.3% up. We're going to call that flat. Hit EPS $1.03 a share. Their dividend payout ratio right now is sitting about, or not payout ratio, excuse me, dividend yield, because those are two very different numbers,
Yeah.
sitting about 5.6%. So, I mean, we kind of look at their chart. They're flat on the week, even post earnings, actually up 5% on the month, down about 3.7% on the year. It's a REIT with a high dividend. I don't. If you're getting into it, you know you're getting in for the dividend. I don't think anyone's expecting growth or a lot of growth right now. Which, if that's what you're going for, go for it. Just be ready. Know what you're getting into.
Yeah, and I'm guessing the REITs in the US have been hit by interest rates the same as the REITs here in Canada.
Some have. I don't know how. I don't know if O is a good one for that because I don't really know their. I don't invest in O, but I would assume so. Looking at they're down 12.5% over
Yeah.
the last year. Yeah, some
You just have
definitely
to
have.
that's kind of part of the game with the REITs, right? Is they have real estate, therefore they have, mortgages and whatnot, and when the interest rates go up, that's going to affect the
Yeah.
business and the business model, and that's
Oh,
exactly
without a
what
doubt.
happened here with pretty much every single REIT here in Canada has been hit hard in the last year, 2 years with the rising interest rates. Hopefully now does look like maybe we're gonna start cutting interest rates back like the Fed in the US and the Bank of
Well,
Canada here.
the Swedish federal bank cut rates for the and they're the
Yeah, I saw
second
that.
major bank to do that this week. So that's definitely going to put some heavy pressure on the U.S. Federal Reserve.
Well, I
We'll see
think
if it goes anywhere,
on
but
all first world nations, right? Because obviously we don't follow all these other countries the way we kind of follow North America.
mhm.
But when you see, okay, Sweden or Australia or Finland or whoever, who are obviously also first world countries, the UK, Germany, Japan, right? If they start cutting interest rates, then all of a sudden, I guess I don't really understand how it works on an entire global perspective. But you would think there's going to be, like you said, the little pressure on, like here at home, right?
Oh, without a doubt, no doubt about it.
Anything more from Monday? Monday. We had
I
Goodyear. Goodyear just, they just keep pumping out tires a year after year.
I do kind of want to do a quick shout out. I didn't put this on my original notes because I didn't see it, but I now see it on here. Lucid. who I want to bring them up because we're going to talk Rivian here in just a minute.
Yeah.
I think they're tomorrow. Lucid, also a fellow EV company.
And when he says tomorrow, he means like in a
Oh
minute,
yeah,
15
yeah,
minutes.
yeah, negative 30 cents a share actual, 25 cents a share expected. Down about 6-ish% on the week. Which actually looks like that. I don't know why I didn't look into this one like I usually would, but kind of looking, yeah, this is a good one that I'm seeing. I'm headlining an article right now, which means I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to talk like I have. Rivian, Lucid, and Nikola facing EV winter, which kind of like goes to what I don't know how many weeks ago we talked about Ford and Ford cutting EV production because the demand just isn't there.
Right.
Which can be said due to infrastructure, can be said due to just adoption, can be said due to technology, can be said due to interest rates. There are 100 different reasons you can point
A
to, but
lot
the
of
fact
variables. A
remains,
lot of
oh
variables in
yes,
the formula, right?
without a doubt. So yeah, EV, and that, I mean, this rounds back up to Tesla too, who also isn't doing great year to date.
No.
EV, let's see, yeah, they're down 33% year to date. EV
Yikes.
demand not looking hot across the market right now.
Before we move on to Tuesday, I'm just going to give a quick shout out to Goodyear. I don't have any numbers on them. Just in my local area, they built a plant here. Oh, at least 30 years ago, sometime back in the 1990s, and the plant is still going strong to this day. So, just kind of a testament to a company like that, right?
Hey, they're profitable, which apparently they're not always profitable. And they're up 2% this week.
Tuesday, Disney, Ferrari. When we get to 1 million subscribers or 10 million subscribers, I get to buy you that Ferrari. Duke Energy, Celsius. Oh, Celsius.
I'll tell you right now, Dave, I only want the Ferrari if you're also going to pay the insurance. Because, woo, I don't even want to know what that
Celsius,
would be.
Dave Greta, the biggest Celsius booster in on all of Twitter. I'm looking at BP there, British Petroleum, Kellogg's again, a Kellogg's plant just right here in my local area, literally just about 5 buildings down the road from where I work, actually. So, yeah, where do you want to start on Tuesday before open? Before we even get to after close on Tuesday,
Well, I think we talk about the House of Mouse first.
the House of Mouse, Mickey and Minnie, Donald and Goofy.
I'm a Huey, Dewey, and Louie fan myself.
Fair enough.
That said, stock's down 6% on the week. They did actually beat earnings. $1.21 a share actual over $1.10 expected. Which, hey, it will always take a beat. Stock's up 18% year to date. Disney Plus is actually profitable for the first time ever. They only
I
made about
saw that.
they only made about a $40 million profit on it. Only, which I guess
Yeah.
when you're talking a company as big as Disney is chump change, but like it's profitable. That's impressive. Stock's still down though because Disney is projecting a slowdown in revenue for Q2, which obviously we will see how that goes.
Right. Ferrari.
I did not know Ferrari was publicly traded. I'll be fully honest with you, Dave.
I didn't know until I saw this on Tuesday either, and I obviously I depend on you to do all the research, so everybody knows I didn't do anything. um,
I'm going to shout out Dividend Dude on Twitter. I didn't know Crocs was publicly traded until he started talking about it.
right.
That surprised me quite a bit. But I guess we kind of have to hit Celsius. We've talked about Celsius once before, Dave, and if you remember correctly, you had to teach me how to spell it because I'm a good American. I don't use that word.
Now that you guys have Celsius, you can finally get rid of Fahrenheit.
I wish so. This is so off topic. I wish so bad we'd switch to metric.
If you can count to 10, you have the entire metric system mastered.
Exactly. So I didn't actually put Celsius in my notes. Sorry, Twitter. Stock's up
Sorry,
ten
Dave
percent.
Greta.
Cole Grindy, Cole Grind, Grinte, the options guy. He tweets about it a lot too. Sorry,
Right.
Cole. Sorry, Dave. Not this Dave, the other Dave. Um, they did beat earnings, 27 cents a share actual, over 19 cents a share expected. Um, yeah, I didn't do any research into them. Stock looks good. Stock's up 10%. I'm going to go on a limb and say they've got some more retail space than expected, and they are hitting their core customer base better than expected. Because as we're going to talk about here, when we hit Wednesday's earnings, core customer base was a very strong topic this week on earnings calls.
Right. My only thought on Celsius is I've still only seen 4 flavors here in Canada, and I know they have a lot more than 4, but I'm pretty sure I've tried all 4 of them now. They're good. Like, I mean, they taste fine. Like, it's weird. It's just another drink, to be honest, but it's good. I'm okay.
I've never had one. But I was gonna hit one more on the before open. That is Duke Energy, and
Yep, please
I'm
do.
on based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm only hitting them because maybe if I do, they'll give me a discount on my electric bill.
Yeah.
Please, I would appreciate it. Stocks up 3% on the week. BDPS $1.44 a share over $1.39 expected. So that's about a 4% dividend yield. I mean, it's a utility company. You're not
Right.
buying for growth. But yeah, Duke, just like 10% off this month. That'd be great.
Just from 100 down to $90 or whatever, right? Like,
Actually, let me reword that. Give me like July or August. That's when I want to use the coupon code because that's when I have the AC pumping.
see, that's the thing is you pay way more for energy in the summer, and I pay way more in the winter, right?
Oh yeah, my power bill during the winter drops to like nothing. It's great.
Yeah, like same. My in the summer, I pay like well because I'm not heating my house, so I'm not paying for any propane or anything, right?
I'm so glad I don't have to pay for propane or gas. My second apartment in college had a gas bill and I hated it. It was just one more thing to deal with.
After close on Tuesday, Upstart and Rivian again. There's a lot of chatter on Twitter about Upstart, and of course Rivian. Is Rivian Tesla's number one competition for EVs? Rivian, I
In
don't know.
in my opinion, yes, it is.
Yeah,
But
okay. I
I'm
think I
gonna
would
shout.
agree with that sentiment.
I'm gonna shout out Elon Musk because man, if Rivian's your closest competition, you got nothing to worry about. Hot take, hot take. Like Rivian stock, like
Hey,
start
Elon, you just got shouted out, so please retweet this.
that too. That too. Shout out market participant on Twitter. I know he's a big Rivian believer. I don't know another one. I'm not saying they don't exist, but I don't know another one. Rivian not profitable. Lost $1.24 a share over negative $1.17 a share expected. Stock's actually up 1% on the week, and I don't really understand why, but it's kind of the same thing we talked about with Lucid. And we also, I'm sure, here, let's look up Nikola stock as well. Because I
Just while
just
you're
see what
doing
they
that,
did
I'm
this
just going
week.
to kind of give a. So here in Canada, obviously Canada is roughly 1/10 the population of the U.S., so a lot less people. And seeing a Tesla now is more or less common, but I have seen, like in the wild, out on the streets, even in my small city, I have seen more and more Rivians. Like I've probably seen upwards of 5 of them now, which
Have
doesn't
you
sound like a lot, but again, kind of think of the metrics of like 40 million people in all of Canada, 50,000 people at best in my like in the small city I live close to, and I've seen 4 or 5 of them. So, and again,
Rivians
like
look
I just
clean?
kind of part of that blanket statement was I've seen so many Teslas now that they've become almost common, right? So,
Yeah, no, Rivian, like I like the Rivian truck a lot, just the way it looks. Have you seen a Cybertruck yet?
in the wild, no. Obviously, I've seen tons of pictures of them online, but no.
I saw my first one in the wild in San Francisco because, of course, that's where I saw it.
Right.
Um, Man, I'm going to say this on here. I've tweeted this, and I got, man, a lot of people really got mad at me. A lot of you like started threatening my wife even. Man, Cybertruck's pretty ugly. Rivian's
Yeah, that's
truck
what I've said from
looks
the
pretty
beginning.
cool. I never told you were wrong, just for the record.
Yeah, I've said that from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Now, Nikola stock, though, back to that, down 18.5% on the week. Well, now I got to read more on Rivian because I want to know why they've been saved. Like that EV winter, like we talked about, it's coming for all of them. Of course, the
Yeah,
Rivian, though, is
and
a
the
stock
Rivian,
that I was going to say, they're
the
up.
thing with Rivians that I have a hard time with is the headlights. Those headlights to me still are not.
It's the
Uh,
identifying feature, Dave. I would
I
say
guess, yeah.
Rivian being 1% up on the week, though, we're still talking about a stock that's down 55% on the year. So, but
Another great comment from Sam here. I've actually seen a couple Rivian trucks around, but I got burned on them bad back in the crazy bull market of 2021. Sorry to hear that, Sam, but hopefully things work out for you.
yeah. I hope you sold a long time ago, friend. I
I
promise. I
promise I
also
also buy stocks that go up like JP Morgan. Okay, so he's like, well, like the rest of us, man, we all buy stocks that go up, we buy stocks that go down, and we just hope that overall our overall portfolio is doing better than losing, right? That's where we're all at.
that's diversification at its finest.
Diversification.
Um, I was gonna say, oh yeah, the other one I wanted to hit today was good old Lyft. Which, but when we get into Wednesday's earnings, remember what Dave and I say about Lyft here. Lyft up 1.5% on the week. They did beat earnings estimates. Analysts are expecting 3 cents a share. Lyft came in at 15. Ladies and gentlemen, Lyft is profitable. This is not their first quarter of profitability, but they are expected, and this may have actually been it, to be on the track for their first ever full fiscal year of profitability. Because remember, I guess probably about 3 months ago, which would be about 12 episodes ago, this I had to do the math in my head, we talked about how Lyft had lost like $20 million in 2023, which in Lyft money is not a lot of money.
Right.
You sold Rivian at a 50% loss. You could have kept holding it and had another 40% on top of that. It's down like 90% since IPO. But yeah, Lyft up about 1.5% on the week. I like Lyft. They were falling behind Uber for a while there, but they really seem to be catching up. I can't tell you what they're doing overall to catch up like that. But I'm a big fan of competition in the marketplace.
Yep.
And Lyft, as soon as they hit profitability on their own, I like them giving Uber a run for their money.
Interesting. Toast. Match Group. Is that an online dating thing?
Yeah,
Dutch
yeah,
Brothers,
they.
iRobot. What else do you have? Anything more for Tuesday, or are we going to skip over to Wednesday here?
I am good to skip to Wednesday.
Is Match Group, is that a dating thing, or do
Yep,
you
yeah,
even know?
yeah, they've got like Match.com, Plenty of Fish, Tinder.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair
If
enough.
you can name a dating app or site, Match probably owns it. The monopoly they have on the market is ridiculous.
Wednesday, Shopify. One of the top 10 Canadian, actually, I think it's in the top 5 Canadian companies now after a couple like Royal Bank and a few others. But Shopify there, Uber, Fox, Toyota, all sorts of things going on before open on Wednesday. After close, we've got Airbnb, Beyond Meat, Robinhood. I'm sure you've got lots to say there. AMC, uh, Energy Transfer, very popular on Twitter. Celanese. Oh my goodness. I wonder if that's the same company that I'm thinking of from my childhood.
I couldn't tell you, but
No,
I can.
no,
I
I'm gonna have to
can.
look that one up probably after we're done this episode. But where would you like to start on Wednesday before open? Shopify probably right there, top of the
You know
list.
it. Shopify is down 19% this week.
Yeah, didn't they have a
19.
huge drop the day
Yeah.
like Wednesday when the earnings came out? Like it dropped like $20 a share or something.
Let's see here. They went from 78.50 a share to 61.82. So yeah, call that. That's about $20. Yeah,
I was looking at it in Canadian dollars, so that would have been 20 Canadian, I bet.
that makes sense to me. But yeah, Shopify. They did beat EPS, 20 cents a share actual over 17 cents a share expected. Tell me if you've heard this before, Dave. They lowered Q2 expectations.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
Shopify, like they still like their core business model and like who they have on the platform now. But the big thing they lowered for Q2 was growth and finding new customers, which is we're going to talk about this at the Fiverr call. I'm ready for that one. But
You're
yeah,
gonna go off on Fiverr.
I am.
So
Because
stick around for that, everybody, because it's going to be
what
entertaining.
what I'm saying about Shopify is the exact problem I have with Fiverr. I don't think Shopify falls in this category, but like their core business model is great, but if you're going to be publicly traded, you've got to keep growing. And Shopify, I think this is just a temporary hitch. I mean, if you want to buy the dip, this, not financial advice, I think could be a good dip for Shopify. I believe in Shopify 5, 10, 15 years down the road. So I mean, yeah, this could be a buying opportunity.
Yeah, very much could be, right?
So then moving on to my other favorite stock from Wednesday before open, we got to talk about Uber.
Yeah, please do.
Uber down 3% on the week, and Uber, like we talked about, has actually been profitable for a little bit now. Analysts were expecting 23 cents a share. Uber came in at negative 32 cents a share, missing by a
Ouch.
lot. Yeah, just like 200% there. Um, Bookings were way down, to say the least. Uber did not book near as many rides as it has in the past. And Uber's CEO came out with a reason for why they were not profitable this quarter. And Dave, you want to take a guess at what it was?
No, I don't.
Work from home. Uber's CEO. Let's see. I had his name written down. I'm trying to find it. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm not even going to try. Uber's CEO came out and said that they were not profitable because too many of their most loyal core customer group work from home.
But how would they be loyal core customers if they work from home? Like,
Dave, that's a great question. I read that and I was like, absolutely not, no sir. I I like Uber and Lyft, being there, add in like DoorDash and the other similar services to it. But like, man, Uber, Dara is your first name. I'm not gonna try to pronounce your last name. You got to do better, bro. You gotta.
yeah, that seems
Um,
like a really bad excuse rather than an actual reason, in my
it
opinion.
really no. I 1,000% agree, and that's exactly why I'm bringing it up. Is like I'm like you got to do better than that. You really do. Like I
Yeah,
understand.
because work from home isn't anything new, right? Like,
No, not at all. If you had said that in like June 2020, I would have said okay, maybe you have a point, but it's 2023, and I know more people are working from home now than like have ever before, but more people are going back to the office than ever.
yeah. I'm just gonna give you a little side story. My aunt, um, she's a beautiful woman. I love her so much. She worked for Bell Canada for her entire career. Started as like back in the 1970s, 1970 as a switchboard operator. Worked her way up, became like very successful into middle management, and I want to say it was like the mid 1990s when she started working from home like 3 days a week. And working from home
Wow.
yeah, exactly, right? Like working from home in the 90s was more or less unheard of. And I guess maybe like mid to late 1990s once the internet kind of started to pick up. But yeah, so like work from home is nothing new. It's been around for going on 30 years now, right?
I mean, yeah, it sounds like it at least.
Yeah. Enough of my little side story there. What else are we talking about on Wednesday?
I don't have anything else before open, but I can move on to after close.
Yes, please do.
So I'm going to start with I don't know what ARM is,
Nope.
but I do know what Airbnb is.
Yep.
Airbnb beat EPS big time. 22 cents a share expected, 41 cents a share actual. Despite that, the stock is down almost 8% this week. Or actually, let's see here. Yeah, about 7.5%. They recovered a little this afternoon. Big reason for that. Once again, we've been saying this for 3 months now. They lowered their Q2 expectations. Which I mean, I kind of want to talk about that because like we've been seeing that a lot lately, and we hear from the U.S. Federal Reserve, we hear from Jerome Powell, we hear from Janet Yellen that inflation is transitory and the U.S. is not headed toward a recession. But then we have these, like consumer discretionary stocks like Airbnb, like Uber, um, like Disney, like Target, for an example, who keep lowering expectations. Um, and it's kind of like, what do they know that nobody else does? Because like I feel like every consumer discretionary we talk about lately has the same affliction of they're lowering revenue for later in 2024. They're worried about the U.S. economic situation. So either the Federal Reserve knows something that these companies don't, or they're correct and recession fears might be right. I don't want to fearmonger here, but I mean, we keep seeing it and like you can't ignore it.
Right. And I think part of that is they keep lowering expectations to kind of cover their own
Oh, without a
butts, right?
doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Like, I mean, it definitely pays to lower than beat.
Beyond Meat. I don't know if I've ever had a Beyond Meat burger.
I'm gonna we talked about this 3 months ago. I remember you and I talked about this because Beyond Meat. I mean, it's definitely not a meat substitute. Like, you're not. No one is gonna eat a Beyond Meat burger and say, "Oh, this might be beef," but it's
No.
pretty good. It's pretty good for what it
Yeah.
is.
It's plant-based proteins, which
Yes,
are really good, actually. But
exactly. Like, if you think of it as a meat substitute, you probably hate it. But if you think of it as just a plant-based protein, it's pretty good. Like, the taste is there.
yeah, I think that's all we got on Beyond Meat. Robinhood. You must have something to say about Robinhood.
A
Then
little
there's
bit.
AMC and Energy Transfer as well. And like I said, I need to look up Celanese to see if that's the company I'm thinking of.
So I will hit Robinhood real quick. It's my last that I have on this list, and I have a surprise. Um,
Oh yes, that's right. We discussed the surprise.
it's not really a surprise to anybody listening at home, but it's a surprise. Robinhood beat EPS 18 cents a share actual over 5 cents a share expected. Shout out to Robinhood because I mean Robinhood's been pretty consistently profitable for a while now, and their IPO wasn't that long ago. I mean, I say pretty consistently profitable. Then I look back at the stats, and 1 year ago they lost like 60 something cents a share. But like, and also, I might just want to keep my mouth shut because they're still down big time since IPO. So just never mind. Forget I said anything. Robinhood's profitable, down 6%. Big reason for that being down is what actually helped them beat EPS was crypto revenue this quarter. Crypto revenue was way higher than what analysts expected, but then even Robinhood's CEO himself, Mr. Vlad, came out and said that that crypto revenue may or may not be sustainable in the future because of the SEC. They say the SEC is very hawkish toward crypto right now, and it's a real business risk to them. Like, one quick ban from the SEC and suddenly, or one quick wrong move and Robinhood crypto shut down, and there's that entire business arm for them.
Right. I just noticed Duolingo on there too. I don't know if you have anything to say about Duolingo
Duolingo's
or
publicly traded.
I literally just saw it right there myself right now.
Huh? It sure is. Duolingo down 18% on the week. Duolingo is profitable.
I love the
57
way
cents a share.
I love that profitable, like all three syllables with question marks on all
I'm
three syllables.
I'm blown away. I honestly thought Duolingo was just a stupid app. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
realize they were an $8 billion company. What?
Oh my goodness. Maybe some more of us need to do some more due diligence on
Uh,
Duolingo, right?
Stocks up 33% since IPO, which was just in July 2021.
Wow.
What real quick, everybody in the comments right now, I'm mad at all of you. Why did none of you tell me?
Yeah, exactly. Why doesn't Twitter tell us about these things?
I honestly had no idea.
Well, we all learn something new every day, and we just learned a lot right there. Um, AMC or energy transfer?
So I've never heard of energy transfer. I guess we got to hit AMC because it's the meme stock.
Energy transfer, you've never heard, like, again, I ticker symbol ET. Look it up right now because, like, if we don't, there's going to be a lot of people mad at us. Please. And then I'll let you get back to AMC. The
Energy transfer up 0.7% on the week. We'll call them flat. I'm assuming there's some kind of utility.
yes,
Oh, wow. 7.7% dividend yield.
that's probably why they're popular on Twitter, right?
And they're profitable. 30 cents a share actual, 40 cents a share expected, but yeah, they're actually their natural gas exports right now are growing very rapidly, and Robinhood gives you an analyst rating, and they've got an 89.5% buy rating. So yeah, Energy Transfer apparently.
And Sam, thanks for sticking with us through this episode. I had no clue
And
Duolingo was publicly traded either, so
we're all learning something.
we're all learning, Sam. That was very interesting, actually. That was fun. What we just found out there about
It
Duolingo.
was. um, shout out Tom, the savings captain. I told Tom this wasn't a business venture. This was me just hanging out with Dave, and we happened to hit record, and you all just saw that live.
Yeah, exactly. And I did finally get a chance to listen to that episode with you on shout out to, again, like you said, shout out to Tom, savings captain, and the Money Happy Hour podcast. And you're a busy guy, and I didn't like. Well, I know how busy you are, but you're like, yeah, I just hang out with Dave for an hour or so every week, and we just have fun talking about stuff. So
That's really what it is, though.
yeah, exactly.
So, we got
You
to hit AMC before we
AMC
move
there? Or are you
on.
still on energy transfer?
I moved on to AMC, negative 70 cents a share actual. Stock's
This
down
is
about
true
five and a
story.
half percent a
I'm
week.
sorry to interrupt again. Dividend
No,
Dog loves him
please.
some EET. That's so very true. Dividend Dog does love the ET stock.
But yeah, you had a true story?
No. Sorry, I'm sorry. I interrupted you there
We're
to
all
get
good.
that comment in. Where were you? Were you back to going back to AMC?
Yeah, just stocks down. They're not profitable. I'm kind of looking back at AMC stock all time, and I don't know. Wow, they're big time down. I'm guessing movies never fully recovered from the pandemic. I don't. Somebody who knows more about this than I do, was AMC profitable in 2019?
Yeah, who knows?
Google knows.
Um, can you quickly look up Celanese for me and just
Yeah, of course.
I'm just curious. And I'll tell you why I'm curious. If it's the same company I'm thinking of.
So actually, it looks like AMC was profitable pre-pandemic. Oh wow, that's good to know. So today we learned Celanese. Celanese Corp engages in the provision of technology and specialty materials businesses. It operates through the following segments: engineered materials, acetate tow, acetyl chain, and other activities. So they work.
Are they headquartered in Germany?
Irvine, Texas.
Mm. I guess that could have changed over the years. So I'll tell you the reason I was interested is because my dad, God rest his soul, worked for a company called, well, when he started there in 1955, it was called Melhaven Fibers. And then at some point in the 60s or 70s, became Celanese Canada. And I'm just kind of very curious if this is still, 40, 50 years later, 60 years later, still the same company. And it very well could be. But honestly, I don't know.
Let's see if we can find it. I believe so.
Yeah. It sounded about right. Like, yeah. So
Yeah, I think the headquarters I see here is just for the U.S. branch of business.
right. Anyways, enough about that. We'll uh jump over to Thursday. Are you gonna start with Fiverr, Papa John's,
No,
Tapestry,
no,
Roblox?
no. I have mean things to say about Plug Power too, so don't worry. Um, so we're gonna start with Roblox. So Dave keeps offering to pay me in Canadian dollars, but I've been asking him to pay me in Robux. It's a much more stable form of currency.
Probably is.
Stock's down 16% on the week. Roblox was only expected to lose 43 cents a share. No, it was only expected to lose 53 cents a share. Actually, only lost 43 cents a share. And their big reasoning behind that was like most online games, Roblox is, I mean, it's like alcohol. 85% of the customer, or what is it, like 15% of the customers make up like 85% of the revenue. Like you pick Bud Light, you pick Constellation Brands. Buffett's bought and sold Celanese. Today we learned.
Yeah.
I got to look more into that because that's really interesting. But yeah, it's like it's the exact same concept as alcohol companies. And in the last quarter, that core business, those core customers, didn't spend as much money on Roblox. I know you can buy Robux. I have no idea. I've never played Roblox, and Dave, I doubt you have either.
I not really 100% sure what it even is. No.
Did you play Second Life, or do you know what I'm talking about? You remember that?
Dude, Atari 2600 was like the last console I had.
Okay, Second Life wasn't on a console. It was an online game.
Okay. I think I kind of maybe have heard about it.
I would say it's like Second Life, but for kids.
Okay.
You make a character, and I'll be honest, I don't actually know what you do past that.
Yeah,
You
you
build,
walk
publish,
around
and
in
operate.
some virtual world and you try to earn Robux.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
You
That's what
build.
we're going with.
Yeah. So yeah, somebody out there knows. Somebody out there probably with a child knows more about that than I do.
Right.
I am childless, therefore, and I'm definitely too old for the game. So somebody knows. But
Somebody.
let's move on.
Yeah.
I want to hit Plug Power first. Um, so Plug Power. I'm a former Plug Power shareholder, and I'm very glad that I sold. Stock is down 5.5% on the week, 13% on the month, about 8% on the day, actually. Um, and we just did something for the Marketplace podcast about Plug Power. And Plug Power was founded in 1997. They've never been profitable. Down 43 cents a share, or no, down. They lost 43 cents a share last quarter. We're only expected to lose 33 cents a share over the quarter. And man, if you pull Plug Power's all-time stock chart since their IPO, it's they spike because they get a government contract or a deal, and then they immediately fall back down, and then it goes flat, and then they get a government deal, and they fall right back down. Stock is down 99.66% since IPO. So, Dave,
How
you
do
may be
companies
at.
like that even stay in business, right? Like if
I,
they've
I
never
was
been profitable.
I was hoping you'd ask me that. I was ready for that. I was going to lead you to that question if you didn't ask.
Yeah.
Dave, Plug Power has two things that don't show up on any balance sheet that keep them afloat: hope and prayer. But like I bought Plug Power back in like
Hold on,
2019
I need to
ish.
pull up a spreadsheet to see where hope and power.
It's actually an Excel function.
Yeah.
Um,
Where does hope and pray go into my what line item is hope and pray?
I bought Plug Power back in like 2019, maybe 2020 actually, and they spiked up like immediately, and then I sold, and it's just been down ever since. Like I would like to meet a Plug Power investor, and I just want you to tell me what's going on. Like, I know I hate on Fiverr a lot, and I think rightfully so, but like, I look at Plug Power. What are what are you investing in, guys?
What are you doing?
Oh yeah, I mean, you have a company that's been around here for 26 years and has like not even really sniffed profitability.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy.
Like,
Absolutely crazy.
I'm half convinced on it that it's just a front. Like there is like some board of directors there who is like, go tell the Department of Energy that we're going to invent hydrogen power. Then they get the grant and then they go on vacation or something. Like, I'm not convinced it's a real company. It's worth 1.2 billion somehow, but like I don't know.
Again, I'm asking the question: how are you worth 1.2 billion if you've never been profitable?
Hope and prayer.
And I'm gonna go to Excel and I'm gonna type that into search or something on a spreadsheet and find out where those line items go on a balance sheet. That's all I can do. Papa John's. I don't really want to talk about Papa John's simply because I'm kind of hungry right now and it's just gonna make me want pizza.
Real quick, Papa John's has one of my favorite tickers. It's PZZA.
That's pretty good.
It's probably my second favorite behind Chewy.com, who is
Okay.
Woof. I wasn't prepared to talk about Papa John's. I did just have Papa John's earlier this week, though. Um,
Okay.
Pretty good at what they do.
Yeah,
Pretty
good
good.
pizza. Not gonna
That
lie.
they're not my go-to, but it's not bad.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, unleash the hate on Fiverr. That's what we're
Uh,
all here
all right,
for.
yeah. I hate on. I've been looking forward to this for weeks now. Fiverr shareholders. First off, congratulations. Your stock's up 12.77% this week. I only know of Plug Power because I used to day trade a similar company. Hey, FCEL was one of the first companies I ever bought. I didn't day trade them, but it was one of the first I ever bought. How are they doing
Definitely shout out to
actually?
Sam for being so active in the comments. Definitely love seeing all the chat. So big shout out to Sam there.
Wow, I'm kind of looking at the chart. If you did it right, you could have made some money day trading. So I held. God, I lost a lot of money on F. I love how Robinhood keeps like your trading history. I'm not going to share this one. All I'm going to say is I lost a lot of money on FCell
Okay.
in 2019. Um, at one point, I held upwards of 300 shares, and I lost over 50% on them. Is all I'm going to say. Um, Either way, back to Fiverr.
Yes, I
My
want to hear all your hate on Fiverr because I know how much you
so
love to dump on them every week, whether it's their earnings week or not. So this is your
stock's
actual week
trash.
to get to do it.
Stock's trash, and nobody will ever convince me otherwise. First off, Fiverr shareholders, congrats. You are up almost 13% this week on the earnings call. So that's great. And you were profitable, 52 cents a share actual over 44 cents a share expected. So I'm going to go anti what Wall Street thinks. In my opinion, this whole call was just one big sell signal. Um, so Fiverr, it's a freelance platform. We all know what it is. So in Q1 2024, total buyers actually dropped yet again, only about 4 million, over 4.1 million in Q4 2023. And I don't remember Q3 2024, but I know Q4 was a drop. So total buyers are dropping. But the average buyer is spending more money on average. Hence, we saw the boost in revenue, which sounds great. And Fiverr management then said that instead of attracting new customers, they want to spend more time incubating and creating these with who they refer to as high value customers, known as that core group of business that's going to spend the most money on Fiverr.com.
Right.
And which, again, not investment advice, um, but my honest to God take on it is when you get big enough that you can focus on that core customer group, that's great. But Fiverr's only been around since 2009, and they
That's
wanted to
still
put.
that's 15 years, man.
I mean, but compared to well, I mean, compared to Plug Power, they've been doing it, I guess. Um, Stock is still down 10% since IPO in 2019. You're not far enough along yet to focus on that core group of customers. You've
Right.
got to get people on the app. You've got to get clicks. And one thing that Fiverr I haven't really seen addressed yet that I think is going to be a huge gap in their business model is how does Fiverr stand up against ChatGPT? Like there are a few gigs that like you can definitely go to Fiverr for, but between AI art, AI writing, AI coding,
Yeah.
there's like half of Fiverr's gigs right there just gone
Yeah. I
for
didn't even think of that, but you're
not even a
you're
third of
so
the
right.
price. So I mean, what ChatGPT is what $20 a month? I don't pay for it, so I don't actually know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they what is their long term plan there? Because they haven't really talked about it, and in my opinion, I think they're just not talking about it and hoping that we don't notice.
Fair enough. Are you done hating on Fiverr?
For now, come back next week and I'll have more.
Okay, I'm gonna again just Sam here with great comments. Thank you so much for supporting us in the chat. I was an okay day trader, but I like long-term dividend investing so much more. I don't even bother trading anymore, and I couldn't agree with that sentiment more. Just like buy
Sam,
shares and let the dividends roll in, and well, that's you know me, passive income, just let it let it ride, kind of thing.
I'm also going to add in Sam. Whoever files your taxes, whether that be you or if you pay somebody to do it, they also prefer you to be a long term holder.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Uh, where are we after close on Thursday?
We are, yes.
Marathon, Guardian, Gardant, Soundhound, RCI, Int Frog, H&R Block, Dropbox, Clean Spark. Anything on any of these?
I had a little bit on Unity. It's not much, but I got a little bit.
Okay,
Um,
sure, go for it.
Unity's down about 10% on the week. Not profitable, while 75 cents a share actual. Was only expected to lose 62 cents a share, so that is a bit of an earnings miss. Big thing on Unity is over the last year and a half or so, they've been making a lot of customer unfriendly moves, which actually this is a great place to talk about why I don't like Fiverr. Or why I don't like a lot of these like once you hit this, you have to grow, you have to be profitable, to continue appeasing Wall Street because that share
Right.
price is the end all be all. You've got to either, find new customers or you have to screw over the ones you already have. And Unity has being such a specialized software has had a lot of issues finding those new paying customers who will continue coming back. I mean, how many people buy Unity, pay for it, and then never launch a game? I don't have the numbers, but I take a whim and say, the majority of people. And then you have like your major studios and your major publishers who just build their own engines in house. Um, Unity is a phenomenal product. I've played around with it a little. I know a little bit on it. It's a lot of fun just to play with, but they're not doing great on attracting those new customers. But they got to hit that profitability, or else Wall Street's going to keep hammering them. So what have they been doing? Screwing over their current customer base, announcing, price raises, and more than anything else, licensing fees, especially if you build a game in Unity and it actually does well, which, as you can imagine, publishers hate, game creators hate, and there's a lot of competition in Unity space and the game development space. So it is not hard to find find a competitor. So Unity, great stock, or well, no, let me read that. Unity, great product, but maybe another company that, in my opinion, shouldn't have been publicly traded.
I'm gonna bring up another comment here from Sam, which is very perfect timing on the H&R Block today, even if we don't have much to say about them. LOL, you're not kidding. I had my taxes filed from H&R Block for the year. I day traded and it cost me over $1,000 in fees. So
I 100% believe that too. I'm gonna have to pay someone to file my taxes this year, and I'm hoping Dave sends me a 1099, or else I don't know how to explain this.
I cannot do that because 1099s do not exist in Canada as far as I know.
I actually, somebody who knows about Canadian business structure and like U.S. freelancers, If Dave were to pay me, what tax form do I need?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. That's actually a great question. I have no idea. We'll have to look into that because, yeah, eventually when I pay you that 10 Canadian dollars, the US government is going to want probably four of those dollars.
You're not wrong.
Anything else from Thursday? We're going to get into Friday. I see we're already over an hour, so we probably should move it along here, right?
I'm cool with that. Yeah, that's all I had.
Friday, the big one, another Canadian company, and I know there was many other Canadian companies this week that we just did not have time to get to, but obviously it was great that a few of these Canadian companies popped up here on these graphics. Enbridge, what I know you had a few thoughts about Enbridge.
Yeah, a couple things. So first off, Dave, I want to apologize. 3 months ago, when we were doing this, 12ish episodes ago, I told you I would look up and tell you what Soho House is.
I do
I
not
still
recall that, so no
uh
apology needed.
I still don't know. Could not begin to tell you. But yeah, Enbridge up about 4% on the week, a little more than 1% on the day. Did beat earnings 68 cents a share actual, over 6 cents a share estimated. Honestly, I mean, they're another utility company.
Yeah,
I know some of the bear concerns are with the rise of renewable energies. Most of Enbridge's capital investments are in legacy fossils and things of the sort. So maybe that could be a long-term threat to their business model. I know though a bull would say, especially with the Keystone pipeline closing, that's just a huge bull signal for Enbridge. It's a utility company. Dividend yield 7%. There's only so much we can say.
yeah. And again, it's in like I without looking this up, I'm sure it's also in one of the top 10 Canadian companies for market cap. So
I mean, 80.35 billion. They're for sure. They definitely are.
yeah. Um, anything to say on AMC because you've already noted that you still don't know anything about Soho.
I don't even know. Well, see, that's AMC Networks, which is a cable television company that exists apparently.
Oh,
Up 10% on the week, 22% on the month. $1.16 a share actual over $1.67 a share expected. Dave, did you know that cable TV was still profitable? Because I didn't know that.
I was not aware. I have not had cable or satellite in at least pretty close to a decade. And even prior to that, I was kind of off and on between, just watching YouTube or even back then when Netflix first came out, right? So,
They have a streaming service with 11.5 million paying subscribers. I have
wow.
so many questions.
Hey, Sam, just curious, are you in Canada? I don't own Enbridge yet, but I really want to buy some. Same, I don't have any in my portfolio, and I kind of kick myself all the time for not having it.
Well, you got to give yourself till Monday at least.
Yeah, exactly. Sam, I thought for years that they were an MLP, but I found they're not, so I would have to deal with a K1. Do you have any idea what that comment means?
Yeah, I hate to ask this, Sam, but what is an MLP? Because a K1 is ownership income from a firm. I deal with K1s 24/7 at my 9 to 5.
I
So I'm
was actually just
curious.
reading about that today, and I can't remember what MLP stands for now. I literally was reading a great comment, actually from shout out to Mistress Dividend on some of her posts, and she had a great post about an MLP, and now I can't remember what that stood for.
So MLP is a. I'm on.
He's in Sam's in the U.S.
I'm on Investopedia, and MLP is a master limited partnership. I've actually never. God,
Yes,
I have a master's in finance, and I've never heard this term. What do they
that's
teach
yeah,
me?
no, that's exactly what she said today in her tweet. Again, shout out to Mistress Dividend if you don't follow her at Mistress Divvy. If you don't follow her on Twitter, you should give her a follow.
Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna like accurately explain this right now. Um, But no, he's totally right. So like in MLP, he would get a K1. Not that I doubted you, Sam. I'm just like I'm learning. Like you are teaching me, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, there's no way I would accurately explain this right now with my brief bit of research. Um, but I would highly recommend giving it a Google, giving it a read. And no, we're not talking about My Little Pony. That's Dave and I's podcast on Tuesdays.
No,
We
it is not.
recap. We recap the weekly episode.
Yeah, actually,
I,
it would probably get views, right?
is that I hate that I'm about to Google this, but is My Little Pony like still a thing?
I'm sure it is.
I feel like it has to be, but like it's not. It's another one of those. I don't have a child who would watch that. I just don't have a child. Um, so therefore, I don't know anyone who watches it.
Okay, Joseph, we've made it through another week. I don't think I'm going to bother with coin market cap and Bitcoin and USD. Kind of already took a look at that in Canadian dollars. People kind of know where it is in USD. Again, very fun week. Like you said to Tom when you were on the Money Happy Hour, just a couple of guys
Yeah.
just having a conversation for an hour, talking about the way the week went. So I truly appreciate you and your time.
Oh yeah,
And
of course.
thank you again so much for being here. And we'll see you again next week. Hey, Sam, hope you come back next week as well. We're here every Friday at 5:30 Eastern Time for the weekly close live here on the Passive Income Podcast.
And like I said, come join me and Dave Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Friendship is Magic review. That's not a thing. Please, nobody run with that. That is not a thing.
Yeah, and please be sure to, if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to hit subscribe. If you're on Twitter, give us a follow, and any other platform, well, you're not watching us there. So later, guys. Thanks for the live
Yeah.
stream. Yeah, thanks so
Everyone,
much
thanks
for
for
being here,
watching.
Sam. That's very appreciated. All your comments have been very appreciated. So just shout it to Sam. Great comments.
Hey, you two have a great weekend, man. You were great to have in the chat. Really appreciate the conversation.
Awesome, guys. See you again next week.
Yep.
Bye.